Hey!
What led us to this scene? I don't remember where we are.
What do you mean you don't remember where we are? This is our... Okay, we had a little break in our recording sessions between last episode and this one. We are currently looking for... What's her name?
Right. We're looking for what's her name.
What's her name? Yeah. When I got back to the lab, I saw that Dara was completely exhausted. There was no need to even ask. Goodness me. It was obvious he hadn't found a single clue. Suzuha had been doing this for over half a year, so her face didn't betray her emotions anymore. Daro didn't even bother asking me how it went. Could probably tell from the look on my face.
When you stop to think about it, Suzuha's been working pretty hard at this. We amateurs aren't exactly going to find something new on our own.
Daro said what I've been thinking, but trying not to say. Well, thank you for helping. You don't need to waste any more time on this. I'll keep looking on my own. Suzuha evidently had no intention of giving up.
No, wait a second, Suzuha. What I'm trying to say is...
I can't let you guys keep working so hard at this. What happened with Kagari is my responsibility.
Don't be silly. If the kid's responsible, the parent's responsible, duh.
Well, I don't know if that works that way, but alright. Dad!
Hey, how was that? I think I was a pretty good daddy there. If you want to hug me and tell me how much you love your daddy, go right ahead.
Well, okay, that ruined the mood. Watching these two always gave me a strange feeling. For a while after they first met, they were complete strangers, and now they were father and child. Age-wise, they were exactly the same. Maybe I could understand how Suzuha was feeling, but I had no idea what Dara was going through.
Having the weird life experience of becoming a father before having a kid.
Yeah.
Or having a relationship, or growing up.
Right.
Or any of those phases that would happen along the way normally.
Right? Just suddenly being a father and like, I
am suddenly the father of a young adult out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Who I will later father at some point in my life.
Time travel.
Anyway, what I'm trying to say here is just searching around randomly isn't going to get you anywhere.
So what are we supposed to do then?
You ask someone who knows this stuff. The best way to handle this is to go to a specialist.
A specialist?
The way to do this is to talk to someone who knows the underworld, duh.
I realized you'd come up with the same idea I had. My head hurt. Do you know someone like that?
Don't underestimate your daddy. He may be an otaku, but he's well known in certain circles.
In, certain circles. Well known for being a tub of lard. Fat jokes, boom, got him.
Don't make fun of me, man.
I will make fun of you, just not for that. And
Fair.
Anyway, are you serious? Do you really know someone with underworld connections?
I'll see who I can find.
Before Suzuho or I could respond, he took out his phone and started typing a message to someone. Was he serious? And
just gotta phone up Underworld Bob.
Underworld Bob for all your underworld needs. And was text messaging the preferred way to get in touch with the criminal underworld?
Yeah, what are you gonna do? Call them? Nobody picks up their phones nowadays.
Oh yeah, well, it's still 2010, right? People still pick up their phone. What do you think, Uncle? If someone like that really exists, it can't hurt to ask them. In fairness, being a hacker was a pretty underworld sort of occupation as well. If I knew someone like him, it was quite possible the person he said he knew really existed.
Okay, sent. Now we just wait for a response.
Huh? Huh?
Oh.
Huh? Is it back already?
Yeah, she says she's on her way.
Oh, is it Moeka?
That'd be funny.
I feel like it's Moeka. She's pretty fast, isn't she?
Better than slow, isn't it?
Well, I guess that was true, yes. Zora was sending another message. He was probably telling her where we were. Now all we had to do was wait for her arrival. And then the phone rang. I don't remember if I'm supposed to.
I think so.
I guess. Oh, hi, Luca. Hello, Luca?
Oh, Okabe. Sorry, are you free right now?
Yeah, what's up?
Actually, there was something I wanted to talk to you about.
Something you wanted to talk to me about. Oh, is this our first time seeing in Luca's room?
I guess so.
A non-Garo froggy?
A different frog.
Something you want to talk to me about, huh?
Can I come over now?
Now? Is it something you can't say on the phone?
Yes, kind of.
Right now. Would it be okay to leave this to Daru and Suzuha? I'm sorry, but someone is coming over now. I was interested to see what kind of person Daru's friend was.
I see.
Can it wait until after that?
I've got something to do later.
Oh, sugar. I see.
So, how about...
Just as Lukako was about to say something. How come half this Luca's appearances in this game are just putting her off?
In every route, it's just Luca shows up and... I am so sorry. I caught myself in the middle of fucking saying
I can't believe you just spoiled something that brazenly, Vivian. Jesus.
Yeah, fuck. I forgot which routes we have and haven't played already and which bits are from the anime and which bits are from the game.
Anyway, sharp footsteps up the stairs and then a knock.
Come in.
Sorry, Lukako, she's here. I'll talk to you later, and then I stopped. What? The person who opened the door. It was... her? Again? Yeah, it's Moeka. Aw, she actually gets a really nice design for this. She doesn't have her ska belt, though.
Yeah.
Who was Moeka Kiryu? I hadn't seen her since the ATF seminar. She just didn't show up at all on the other route, so I guess...
I mean, she did show up.
Well,
just
okay,
only once
past
right
the
at the
intro.
beginning.
Past the intro, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
past the intro. Okabe, what's wrong? Okabe?
Have something to drink. Moeka was silent, with her head tilted slightly forward. Seeing her caused a dull ache within me, like my heart was being squeezed dry. Why? Why was she here with Daru? I had any number of doubts in my mind.
You look like you just got shot.
I...
Little joke.
A what joke? A what joke? Also, you make jokes now?
What's wrong, Ocarine?
Nothing. Right, because we were talking about, like, whether or not she's, like, if she is just a tech journalist or not in this route, right?
Or a rounder.
Right.
If the rounders exist, given that we don't think this is a CERN future.
Moeka tilted her head a bit to the side, and I quickly averted my eyes. There was no connection between CERN and us anymore. She wasn't going to kill Mayuri. She wasn't going to kill Mayuri. She wasn't going to kill Mayuri. She wasn't going to kill her. I said it to myself over and over again and finally started to relax. Uncle, you look kind of pale. Are you doing all right? Don't worry about me. Anyway, Daru, can you explain what's going on?
Oh, this is Kiryushi. She's an Edit Pro writer. Moeka Kiryu.
She silently handed me her business card, which had the name of a company called Arc Rewrite on it. Daru gave a brief explanation to me and Suzuha. Oh, so she still works at Arc Rewrite. Hey, Daru, how did you meet her?
She keeps picking her phone back up.
Yep.
Her magazine once did a special on Akihabara urban legends.
Wait, wasn't that a linear bounded phenogram?
It absolutely
Story?
was. And so I got a request to talk about my part-time job. It's not something I can really talk about, you know, so I politely refused, but I normally try to make myself hard to track down, but Kiryushi was able to find me. That got my attention. And once I met her, as you can see, I found out she was really hot. A hot writer who tracks down urban legends. Isn't that the most anime thing ever?
And that's how they'd met. Well, at least a light novel series, I feel. Suzuha was frowning as she saw how Daru acted around Moeka. She didn't say anything, but I could tell she was thinking that he'd better be better off directing his attentions towards her mom. Moeka, for her part, seemed completely uninterested in Daru. She was wearing her usual poker face and fiddling with her phone. She's still using a Japanese feature phone instead of a smartphone, huh? Oh, come on, like, it's 2010, for one thing. And for another, you only switched to a smartphone because it became jarring to modern audiences. Okabe with his flip phone is still better, I think. That was actually the one thing that made me really sad about the Twooey anime.
Yeah.
The World Ends With You anime. Yeah, they got rid of Neku's flip phone. That made me sad.
Well, it's not exactly her specialty, but she knows a lot about Akihabara, especially about some of the underground stuff, I guess, so I thought it might be worth asking her. You're looking for someone. That's what I heard. Yep. Actually, we want you to find a girl who went missing 12 years ago in Akihabara.
Daru told Makise Kurisu the basic story. She was dead silent the whole time, but she typed his words into her phone with incredible speed. Ah, yes, shining finger. I said nothing and just watched. She was once a rounder. She probably still was. Was it okay to trust her? Well, it was just a coincidence that I'd run into her here. I knew that in my head, but my heart just refused to accept it. Here in the beta world line, we never even encountered her before. Of course we hadn't. I'd chosen the beta world line so that we wouldn't, even though the cost was Kurisu Makise's life.
In other words, you want me to find this Kagarishina person. That's right. Can you help? I can try. Seriously? But I don't know if I'll find her. Of course, if you can't, you can't.
Normally, Moika and I would never have run into each other like this. Of course, might have crossed paths in Akihabara. We almost ran into each other when she'd come to interview Dr. Leskinen in Maho at the ATF seminar. But I'd convinced myself that we were never going to meet each other directly. Was this fate? Were she and I fated to cross paths at some point? If that was the case, maybe it was better not to try to avoid her, but to watch her to see what she did. As I listened to Daru talk to her, that was what I started to think.
So, we'll pay you if you succeed, and then any other necessary expenses, okay? No problem. Okarin, Suzuha, you two okay with that?
If she can help, I'm not going to complain.
I don't mind either.
It's a deal then. Okay, I'll take a shot at it.
I'm sorry, what? Why are you laughing at that? You don't laugh. It's weird when you laugh.
I know, right? Freaks me out too.
Moika nodded slightly, then asked us for information about Kagari that might be a clue. Stuff like the clothes she was wearing when she disappeared, what she looked like, and after that she left. Oh, well, the tension suddenly drained from my body as I sank into the sofa.
Uncle, are you sure you're all right?
I'm fine. I was just a little nervous. It was a little late, but I took some anxiety meds out of my pocket and swallowed them.
Uncle, you knew that Kiryu Moeka girl, didn't you?
Huh? She could tell.
Seriously? When did that happen, Okarin?
Why did you think so?
I could tell by looking at you.
I guess you have to be pretty sharp to survive on the battlefield. No, I don't know her.
Did you know her in the Alpha World line? Okay. I won't ask any more, but I'll do my best to keep an eye on her.
That's enough for now.
What are you guys talking about?
I got nervous is all.
I understand that. She's hot, has giant boobs, great proportions, and she even wears glasses. You can't help it.
Yes, it was the giant breasts. That was it.
Oh, was that for you? And not the glasses.
So,
Makise doesn't wear glasses. Kurisu doesn't wear glasses, does she?
Nope.
No. Yeah, no, sorry. Apparently not a glasses person. Evidently. I didn't realize it, but apparently not.
You gotta find some weird fixations at some point, dude.
My weird fixation is that I killed the only woman I've ever loved.
We can work on this.
Okay.
I've got some literature I can recommend.
What? What? What are you two talking about over there? She was a part of my life now. I would just have to use her as best as I could. Maybe it was because she was gone now, or maybe it was because of the anxiety meds, but I'd calmed down enough to start thinking that way. Of course, who knew if I'd feel the same way the next time I saw her face to face?
Maho time.
It would be so funny if coincidentally Moeka ends up leading to the death of Mayushi on this world
Just
line,
by
but not
complete
because
accident.
of convergence or anything. It was totally avoidable and had nothing to do with anything. Just some chain of events and it happens.
Well, here's the thing is that Mayuri is actually pretty safe right now. Because as long as Suzuha is still here, that means Suzuha came back. Suzuha came back, Calgary came back with her, and if Calgary came back, Calgary met Mayuri.
Yep.
So, the Japanese office of the Global Brain Science Comprehensive Research Organization in Waco City, Saitama. Maho Yajo had tried her best to hold back a yawn, but in the end she'd given up and opened her mouth so wide it covered well over half her face.
Hey!
I still can't get over the idea of Waco City, but it's Waco City and it's in Texas, and
Yep.
everybody's all, howdy, y'all.
Howdy, y'all.
One reason was that she'd gotten caught up in talking to Kurisu last night and only ended the conversation after it was late into the night. At first they'd been discussing the research and experiments she'd been doing, but at some point she'd gotten sidetracked into talking about Rintaro Okabe. Evidently he had been ignoring calls from Kurisu for the last few days. Kurisu was much madder at him than she was when he'd ignored her the first 8 times. It was the first sign of femininity that she'd ever seen from Kurisu Makise. It was cute enough that Mahu couldn't help but take the chance to get back at her for all the teasing she'd always did. She'd ended up staying up a lot later than she'd intended, and since she was too energized to sleep by that point, she'd gotten out Kurisu's old laptop. She started to fiddle with it to see if there was some way to crack the password, and next thing she knew, it was morning.
Password, huh? Hey, Kurisu, out with it. Maybe better to ask a professional.
Who's this gonna be?
I think
guess-
this is
What? I guess it's, what's his name, Leskinen?
probably Leskinen.
What's up now?
Huh?
She suddenly heard a voice behind her and almost jumped out of her chair.
Is it really that surprising?
Professor, you're back?
Just now.
He raised up his hands and showed her some plastic bags from a nearby convenience store. He'd left to go get lunch just 10 minutes ago, and she'd been sure he wouldn't be back for a while.
You know, Japanese convenience stores have so many foods to choose from. It's truly wonderful. You can eat a different boxed lunch every day, and a week later you'll have new ones to choose from. And each store's got its own flavor, so you can get your food from them every day if you want.
If you keep eating boxed lunches from convenience stores, you're gonna get fat.
It's still healthy compared to American food.
Well.
Also, I don't think you have the right to lecture anyone about their eating habits.
He was right. Nutrition wasn't an important consideration for Maho. In fact, she ate mostly cereal and meal replacement shakes, which made her diet very unhealthy.
Powered by Huel.
Powered by G Fuel. The G stands for girl.
By the way, what do you want to ask a professional for help with?
Oh, it's nothing. It's nothing. Don't worry about it.
It wouldn't bother her if Leskinen found out, but for some reason she suddenly decided not to tell him.
Yeah, if there's anything I can do to help, I will.
Oh, thanks. I may take you up on that.
She stood up and headed for the door.
Maho, where are you going?
I'm going to Akihabara to get some fresh air.
That's a long way to go just for some fresh air.
Okay, and also some fresh ass. I mean,
If you just admit that you're going to see Lintalo, I'll permit it.
it's not like that.
It's not.
I might go see him while I'm there.
Okabe had a laboratory in Akihabara. Kurisu had told her that last night. She'd said something about how he'd been avoiding it for a long time and only recently started going there again. Maho was a little interested in it as well.
Just so we're clear, it's not like that. It really isn't.
I haven't said a word.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm taking the day off.
Tell Lintalo I said hi.
Ugh.
First, Kurisu, and now the professor. Why do they keep trying to make everything about romance?
Anyway, isn't that called sexual harassment these days?
For one thing, she wasn't going to Okabe's lab just to visit him. She wanted to see him again and see if she could get any hints about the password. He'd said he didn't know, but he'd probably be able to come up with more than she could on her own. That was what she thought after seeing how he interacted with Amadeus. Could call it a woman's intuition. She was thinking about that when she changed trains and got off at Akihabara station.
Huh?
She felt like someone was watching her and spun around. It was a weekday, but the station was crowded. She looked around at all the people, but none of them seemed to be paying her much attention.
Weird. I must have imagined that. Right?
She whispered to no one in particular. She started to walk again. Kurisu had told her the location of the future gadget lab. She wasn't that familiar with the layout of Akihabara, but if she needed to, she could ask her for direction. What if she came in unannounced and Okabe wasn't there? That bothered her a little, but she decided she could just leave if that happened.
So she's definitely being followed, right?
Yeah, but by who and why?
Presumably by someone affiliated with Stratfor. Because
Yep.
we know that Leskinen
Right.
wants her to connect with Okabe
Right.
and Okabe to connect with Kurisu. So if he thinks that this will get them closer to
then he's going to try to
unlocking the
make sure
stuff.
that happens.
and they clearly have a lot of context already, given that Okabe's been talking to Amadeus about the lab and things like that, so they would know where to go.
Although he has been ignoring her calls, it seems, so.
Yeah, but not enough for him not to have explicitly said stuff about the lab and like, oh, I didn't used to go there,
Yeah.
now I'm going again. Here's where it is. It's in Akihabara.
Fair enough.
So it seems like they'd have all the motive and all the info, and that Leskinen's joking conversation there would confirm exactly what was going to happen so that he'd know to call someone once she stepped out the door.
Her eyes lingered on the junk parts lined up in the bins at the shop as she walked when she felt someone looking at her again. But when she turned around, she still didn't see anyone. She started walking again, then went around a corner into an alley. And then she was sure of it. Footsteps. She could hear them behind her. Of course, that was nothing special. She would often be out walking at night and hear footsteps behind her. She'd speed up her pace, only to see an irritated man walk past a moment later. But this time, for some reason, she was sure it wasn't that. She decided to try walking faster and found the footsteps went faster too. When she went slower, so did they. Whenever she saw a scene like this in a movie, she imagined she just kicked the guy in the face. Now that it was actually happening, she was too scared to turn around. She fumbled for the phone in her pocket. The idea of calling the police never occurred to her. The only thing she thought of was the name of the man she was trying to meet. Picked it out of her call history, pressed the button with trembling fingers.
Please.
Footsteps overlapped with the sound of the ringing.
Okabe, help me.
Footsteps were almost on top of her. Just when she couldn't take it anymore, was about to start running. Hello? She heard a voice. She heard her voice coming from the other side of the phone.
Hello, Okabe, it's me, Yajo. I'm right next to your lab.
But she didn't get to say another word. By the time she'd realized that someone had grabbed her from behind, the phone had already slipped from her hands. This is different.
This is weird. What the fuck?
What's this? I asked Makise Kurisu as I took the paper she offered me silently. She contacted Daro just 10 minutes ago and told him she was on her way to the lab. And she'd arrived right at the time she said she would. Must have been very close when she contacted him. What was she going to do if no one was here?
Report.
Evidently, it was a report about her investigation thus far. The stack of papers was shaking a little in my hands. Still felt some unease when Makise was in my presence. Maybe it was just because of the anxiety meds I'd taken right after she said she was coming, but I was still doing a lot better than yesterday. Oh, hey, new CG. Oh, that's cool. Well, Uncle? Guess it really isn't going to be that easy to find her. I see. She must have been expecting something, at least a little. There was an obvious tone of disappointment in her voice. Hagari, where are you and what are you doing? With no way to answer her, I just silently flipped through the pages of the report. Huh?
What's up, Okarin? Find something useful?
No, not really, but... Let me see. I handed the report over to Suzuha without complaint, pointing to the part that interested me with my finger. My investigation has revealed one interesting fact. Over the past 1 to 2 months, it seems another party besides ourselves has been searching for Kagari Shina. What does that mean?
Just what you read.
Which meant that... My phone started ringing before I could finish the thought. Normally I just ignore her and call back later, but... Sorry, can I take this? For some reason I had to answer. That's what it felt like. Hello?
Hello, Okabe? It's me, Hyajo.
She sounded on the verge of panic, and my voice naturally rose to match hers. What's wrong, Hyajo?
I'm right next to your lab and...
Immediately afterward, I heard what sounded like a struggle, and then something hitting something else. Hyajo? Hyajo, what's wrong? Then there was only silence.
Okarin, what's wrong?
From the tone of her voice, it was obvious something had happened. Someone's attacking this girl I know.
Wait, seriously? Which girl?
But I didn't stay to answer his question. I grabbed the nearest thing that could serve as a weapon and ran out of the lab. Huh! She said she was close to the lab. She was coming from the station and chosen a route that not many people would go down. She was probably... the alley directly in front of the lab. I saw someone there. They were tall and slender. I could see a tiny silhouette struggling behind them. That was... I knew it. The only girl that I knew that size was Maho.
Stop it!
Oh. As usual, Maho. Oh, hey, we get to see her mismatched footwear in this one.
Stop it! Let me go!
Someone had grabbed her and she was trying desperately to escape. Hyajo!
Huh?
Person who... The Sialoom saber! Person who was holding her turned in surprise at my voice. A woman? It was only then that I realized it was a woman and that she wasn't Japanese.
Okabe?
Hey, let go of Hyajo!
Hmm.
Did she not understand me? No, but she should have been able to guess what I was getting at. Let her go! Tried to strike a threatening pose with the weapon in my hand. Finally realized that what I'd brought was the Sialoom saber. Still, it would serve as a bluff. I'll say it again. Let her...
It's not like that, Okabe.
Huh? It wasn't. Wasn't like what? Hey, Judy.
Oh!
We didn't really get to know Judy before she just kind of appeared at the end of the last round, huh?
Popped up and was immediately sus seeming.
Yep. The woman let go. Although, I guess it's important to recognize that if Leskinen has access to or at least vague mind control stuff,
Mm-hmm.
we don't necessarily know how willing anyone around him is.
That's true.
Granted, she seemed very willing at the time, but, you know, still, we have to take that into consideration, I suppose. The woman let go of Maho and smiled. She walked towards me with her arms open wide.
Are you Maho's boyfriend?
What? Huh? Wait. Before I could ask what was going on, she'd wrapped her hands around my back and given me a firm hug.
I told you he is not.
I had no idea what the hell was going on, but the two soft objects pressed into my chest kept me from moving.
Oh shit, does she beat out Moeka? Damn, Judy.
Then you know her, Hyajo?
I'm sorry. It was my mistake.
I'm Judy Reyes. Pleasure meeting you, Mr. Okabe.
The woman named Judy Reyes offered me her hand, her broad smile like the sun itself. Nice to meet you.
Japanese will do just fine.
What? You speak Japanese, Professor?
Yes, actually.
Since fucking when? I had no idea, but why?
When a girl gets to be my age, a lot happens.
That explains literally nothing. Actually. Also, Kurisu and I would talk in Japanese in the lab all the time. Why would you never... Why am I only finding out about this now? What? You realize that this is the most inappropriate time for me to learn about this, right? Like, I'm not mad. I'm just confused.
Judy Reyes had a midlife crisis and became secretly fluent in Japanese and told no one until just now.
Oh, man. Imagine becoming secretly fluent in a language and not telling anyone. Oh, what was that post I saw? Right, then you get hit on your head one day and suddenly start speaking in another language with perfect fluency. And no one knows why or how, what's going on. Her mischievous wink looked pretty good on her.
Anyway, I'll introduce myself properly. Judy Reyes. Nice to meet you.
I returned her handshake. Rintaro, Okabe.
Professor Reyes says she came to Japan for an AI conference.
She's a professor at Victor Condria.
I research psychophysiology.
Oh, psycho...
It's the intersection of psychology and biology. In other words, she researches how the activities of the brain affect the inner workings and diseases of the mind.
You know, like that one Slipknot track.
Like the... What? Psychosocial?
No, I'm pretty sure it's psychophysiology.
Oh, okay. Also, why am I admitting that I know a Slipknot track?
I feel like I just got baited into admitting that I know at least greater than or equal to one Slipknot song.
In that sense, her research is a lot more useful to humanity than ours.
That's not true. Depending on how it turns out, your Amadeus could turn into an incredibly useful piece of technology.
Yeah, it makes me happy to hear you say that.
In short, Dr. Reyes happened to see Maho on the streets from Akihabara and decided to surprise her by grabbing her from behind.
Still, that's pretty mean of you, following me all the way from the station.
I followed you from the station.
What? That's right, you followed me the whole time, didn't you?
No, I didn't. I happened to see you from that shop over there and decided to surprise you.
What? Wait, what? Huh?
Maho had only just relaxed when Dr. Reyes' answer drained her face of its color. Hyajo, someone followed you?
Well, yeah, that's what it felt like.
Did you see anyone suspicious? Dr. Reyes denied it with that unique shrug that foreigners always do. Looked back over the alley, but of course I didn't see anyone.
Weird, I must have been mistaken then.
I'm sure you were. Japan's the safest country in the world, right?
Was it?
What are you going to do now, Maho?
I mean,
Reyes seemed to sense something in Maho's silence.
I see. All right, I'll be on my way then. We should talk sometime, Rintaro. Bye.
Oh, even she gets a back sprite. Everyone gets a back sprite.
She gave me a meaningful wink as she left. The station was in the opposite direction. Should I have said something? I got a strange sense that she was feeling me out, but it seemed like a waste of time to resist. So this is Hyajo. You remember me telling you about how I met her at the seminar, right?
sorry for all the fuss.
I ended up taking Maho back to the lab where everyone was waiting for my return. Suzuha had actually gone out once to look for me, but evidently by that time I was already gone.
Well, I'm glad it was nothing.
After I gave an introduction and explanation, everyone let out a sigh of relief. Maho seemed to want to ask a lot of questions about the lab, but I had something else I had to finish first. Sorry, where were we?
We were talking about another group looking for Kagari-tan.
Yeah, that's right. Is that true, Kiryu?
It's true.
I looked back down at Moika's report where she'd written all the details. She even hired a private investigator to check it out, which meant that it was probably true. There's no chance it was Suzuha that they were thinking of.
I guess that would make sense, right? Because if the party they were mistaken for was Suzuha.
Yeah.
I kind of thought of that, but
Some of the people looking for her were men. Some were even foreigners.
Foreigners? Why would they be looking for Kagari?
I'm the only one with any connection to the Kagari in this time. So why would anyone...
Could it be CERN? Maybe CERN realized she was from the future and had gone looking for her? If that was the case, then Moeka would have to know about it, right? No, the rounders were all given their orders individually, so it would make sense if she didn't know what the others were up to, but... Kagari Shina's been here for 12 years. She has to have met some people during that time, right?
More like she couldn't survive that long without somebody's help.
That's true. In other words, what this report tells us is... Someone who knows who Kagari Shina is has started looking for her recently for some unknown reason. That means that at least until recently, she was alive.
Oh,
Huh?
that's right.
Unless they could travel through time like Suzuha, if they were looking for her, that meant they'd known where she was until she disappeared. People had started looking for her in the last few months. It meant she was alive until then. There's nothing else to be learned from Moeka's report.
I don't know, that's not nothing. That's still a lot. That's pretty good for like, what, 5 days of work?
Yeah?
Yeah.
What will you do?
Shall I continue the investigation?
Oh, wait, why was that attributed to Okabe?
I don't know.
I think that was meant to be Moeka's line.
Probably.
People were looking for Kagari in Akihabara. That meant she might still be here.
All right.
Moeka took her payment for the work she'd done so far and left the lab. Dard paid the bill. Seemed that when his future daughter was at stake, he was willing to spend money.
You're looking for someone?
Maho had been looking around the lab with interest. Yeah, just a girl I know. It worried me that some of the people looking for Kagari Shina weren't Japanese.
We're getting a Ryan message from whom?
Hey, Okarin, what time are you getting home today?
Something going on? I shouldn't be that late. I won't be coming home tonight.
I don't know. Shouldn't be out that late, I suppose?
Seems reasonable.
Yeah, I don't think we have any reason to think.
I shouldn't be that late.
I see. Will you eat dinner at home?
Maybe, I guess.
Okay, I'll have something ready.
Oh, why?
Your mom asked me to.
I just remembered some guys from school wanted to go out tonight.
Yeah, that's a shame. I was going to make something good.
Sorry.
It's okay, I'll just make some for your dad then.
You don't have to do that. I'll get him something on my way back.
It's okay. Leave it to Mayushi.
Sorry, Dad.
Huh?
Wow, rude. I guess she wasn't taking cooking lessons in this timeline.
Yeah.
Even outside of CERN, there were people all over the world who would jump at the chance to learn more about the time machine. They somehow learned that Kagari was from the future. That could mean she was caught up in some kind of trouble.
Is this the worldline where Okabe's dad dies of eating boneless pizza?
Boneless pizza? Boneless pizza?
Yeah.
Pizza without bones in it?
I took out all the bones.
What do you mean you took out all the bones? There shouldn't be bones in pizza to begin with.
And now there aren't.
Mayuri, did you make this pizza or did you make this pizza?
All right, Okarin, give me the whatever this is meant to be on Hiyajoshi.
I don't know what that is, but I've already told you everything there is to know, though. She was Dr. Leskinen's assistant. Both she and the professor had been very good to me. I was helping with their work a little. I had told them all this before.
For example, is there going to be a super development where she suddenly becomes a lab member?
Probably not.
Then can I at least call her Mahotan? Actually, I'm just gonna.
You could ask her how she feels about that.
Mahotan?
Huh? Did I get your name wrong?
Don't add the ton. That's not it. It's just a weird thing to say.
But you're Mahotan, right? Mahotan? Don't you agree, Okarin?
Don't ask me.
Just stop calling me that. Also, I'm older than you are, I'm pretty sure.
But I refuse.
He never changes, does he? So anyway, Hiajo, what brings you to the lab today? Did I tell you about this place?
Amadeus told me. There was something I wanted to talk to you about, but forget it. I got to see this mysterious laboratory, and it looks like you're all busy.
Was she mad at me, or?
Yeah, she was really ticked off. Says you're not picking up her calls.
That's exactly what I expected, yeah.
Ooh, what? What? What are we talking about?
Nothing involving romance. Cool it, man.
Is it really bothering you after all, Okabe? If you want to stop being a tester, you can.
No, that's not it. It's just... I hated how I was starting to feel dependent on her.
Talk to her sometime if you ever feel like it. She's lonely.
Okay. The word lonely made my heart ache a little. But even so, I still didn't talk to Kurisu that day. I'm guessing he's not gonna, come straight with Amadeus Kurisu about his prior relationship with Kurisu until, Golden End, probably.
Perhaps so.
Several days had passed since Moik had given her report. I checked last night, and evidently there was nothing new to say. She'd had her deadlines for a magazine, she said, and couldn't spend a lot of time on it. That other group of people who were searching for Kaguya-shina concerned me, but I couldn't ask her to prioritize it over her own work.
Mayu, she is very disappointed.
In what? Huh? Is this about the Christmas party?
Yup. Kaede and Fubuki are both busy.
Oh, so the Christmas party doesn't happen in this timeline. I guess Liskinen won't get to see his Japanese shaman girls.
That hasn't happened yet.
That hasn't happened yet, I just realized.
Spoilers!
I don't know if that's a spoiler, but...
And Ferris is at work, and Nai is going to spend it with her dad. And Daru says he's going to go have fun with Yuki.
Oh, well that's good though. Well that's a good thing, isn't it? I heard Suza had gone through a lot of work to set that up. She was always complaining Daru wasn't making his intentions clear with Yuki. From Suza's perspective, her own existence was at stake. Even if it was already fated to happen, something still might interrupt it. More than anything, she probably wanted to see her mom and dad getting along in this peaceful world. If something came out of this, it'd probably make her feel better. You sure you don't want to spend Christmas with your family? Your dad was reserving a cake.
You met my dad?
I ran into him near my house. He was all excited because he was reserving a big cake to surprise you.
I see. Then maybe I should do that.
Oh, but don't let him know I told you. It's supposed to be a surprise, alright?
Yeah, okay. But what are you going to do for Christmas?
Feel really listless, I think. Feel listless.
I see.
I guess I don't really have any plans. My family never did stuff like that. The guys at school were having a men-only drinking party, but I hadn't been invited. I should maybe interrogate that part about myself someday. I kept telling them she wasn't, but they insisted on thinking that Mayuri was my girlfriend. Some of them had it out for me because of that.
Didn't you say that one year you asked Santa for a present, and the next day you found vegetables under your pillow?
Yeah, and it was obviously stuff left over from the day before. When I went to complain, my dad yelled at me and told me we weren't Christians anyway. Fair point. Honestly,
I love how many layers of that there are.
There's a lot going on there, yeah. But also explains a lot about Okabe. Honestly, I'm amazed I actually grew up all right. Did you? Well, if you could call it how I ended up all right. At least he's self-aware.
Once Christmas is done, there's Komima, and then New Year's. The year just flies by.
You're right. I hadn't flown by for me after all. I'd gone through the same span of days again and again. For me, the year had been unimaginably long.
Oh, I know. Hey, Okrin, since we can't have a Christmas party, how about we have a New Year's party? We could all go visit the shrine and eat osechi and say Happy New Year's.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Sure.
Right? Right? Okay, then I'll ask everybody later.
Mayuri stood up to go.
Okay, Mayushi's about to go shopping.
Shopping?
Yep, I need some props for Fubuki's cosplay.
Huh, I see. Take care.
Okay. Oh, right. Okarin. Lukako wanted to talk to you about something.
Oh, right. Oh, that's right. Lukago had called me. After that Moika had come and so much had happened, I'd forgotten. Knowing Lukago since I told him I'd call back, he'd probably been waiting for me this whole time. I got it. I'll get in touch with him. Waiting by the phone like a sad little puppy. Call Lukago right now.
Completely fucking ignoring Lukako for weeks.
Why being so rude to Lukago?
Bye-bye.
Mayuri put on her coat, waved, and went out the door. All right, I should get in touch with Lukago.
Is this a...
You know what, real quick, it's been a minute. I'm going to go check where the inflection point is. I'm pretty sure that we just have to do this, but like, let me just double check.
Yeah, I have a feeling that the inflection point isn't here, but I've forgotten what specifically it said.
I'm pretty sure it was in January.
That sounds real. January is known to be a month.
I need to get around all my Firefox tabs that are currently full with a bunch of Indonesian shoegaze. Which, to be fair, good problem to have, but also I don't know where the tab that has the guide is. Let me find that. Here we go. Thank you, Committee of Zero. January 2nd is the next time. Right, okay, so we don't have to worry about it now.
Cool.
Let's call Lukago. What?
Lukago isn't picking up. Huh, oh well. I'd have to send him a ride. I typed in my message. And sent it. And then I waited for a while for a response to come back, but there was no sign of him even reading it. Busy with something? For a moment I thought of going to the shrine to see, but if he was busy, I didn't want to bother him. He'd contact me when he had time. Just when I was thinking about that, I heard footsteps coming up the stairs from outside the lab. Didn't sound like Daru. Daru's steps were a lot heavier. Come in.
Hello.
Oh, a wild Luca appeared. Lukago, hello.
Good, Okabe. I'm glad you're here.
I was literally just calling you. It
Yeah,
was
that's
Lukago.
why I'm here.
Is that how that works? Sorry, I totally forgot. I just called you.
I was just waiting outside like a normal person so I could come over immediately.
Back up.
No,
No, could you? No.
the door is there.
What?
The door is there. If I backed up, I'd
No,
run
that's
into
not
the
what.
door.
Okay, moving on. He looked guilty as if he'd done something wrong. No, it's fine. Anyway, you've got to be cold. Come in, come in.
Oh, sure.
But he hesitated, seemingly distracted by something behind him.
So, Okabe, I was going to talk to you about something.
Sure.
But first, there's someone I'd like you to meet. Is that okay?
Someone you'd like me to meet, yeah.
Well,
Lukago moved slightly to the side, and a girl appeared behind him.
hello?
What? It's impossible. The girl there was... Kurisu?
Nice to meet you.
To be fair, the CG does her hair no favors there.
Come in.
Thank you.
Right, and Okabe hasn't met Kaguri yet. I offered her a cup of tea, poured out of a plastic bottle, and she thanked me in a voice that was almost impossible to hear. For my part, it was all I could do to keep the hand holding my cup from trembling. Yeah, but she really does kind of look like Kurisu, doesn't she?
But only kinda.
She's got the same haircut. The eyes are
The
very
haircut's different too.
The long hair with that straight bang. Yeah, because Kurisu has like the V in the middle.
Yeah.
But also you could see how Okabe, like meeting her for the first time, might be like, oh, hold up.
He probably has that response to anyone with red hair that is long and is immediately like, "Ugh,
Yeah.
flashbacks, misery, as one would.
It looked a lot more in the CG before her eyes were like bright blue. You know what I mean? Took another good look at the girl sitting across from me. She looks just like her. Not like Lukuko. The girl in front of me looked just like Kurisu Makise. Her brown hair, slightly slanted eyes, her unconcerned expression. Right now there was no sign of her strong-willed nature, but other than that they were identical. When I first seen her, my heart felt like it was going to stop, but on closer inspection some parts were different. The size of her breasts, for one. Was she about our age? She looked older than Lukuko. I knew Lukuko had a sister. Could this be her? She had a quiet air about her that seemed similar to Lukuko. But I thought I remembered hearing that Lukuko's sister was actually quite cheerful.
Okabe.
Oh, nothing. So, Lukuko.
Lukuko.
Oh, excuse me. That's just what I call Lukuko. Since, you know, she's so cute and all. She realized that was a pretty rude nickname.
I see. You finally had to give up.
I didn't want I don't want to be rude.
Unfortunately,
Protect the Luca.
You don't want to be rude, but unfortunately, you are playing as the voice of Okabe Rintaro.
Oh, yeah, that's true. But it was a habit now, and there was no changing it. Also, whenever I call him Lukuko, he gets this very does this.
I see.
Say it again. Her expression softened just a little. She really did look just like her. I took a shallow breath and forced myself to relax. So, Lukuko, who is this?
Well, remember how I told you my dad had a visitor staying?
Yeah, you told me. Is this her?
Yes.
It was a surprise. Thought a friend of your father's would be older.
Oh, no. More precisely, someone my dad knows brought her.
Oh, okay. So this wasn't the person who was talking about Harumi. Made me feel a little better.
So, I wanted to talk to you about her.
Right, okay. Before that, can you tell me her name? It's just hard to keep saying her. Her face clouded. Did I say something wrong?
Actually, that's what I wanted to talk to you about. Well, how can we find out who this girl is?
It took a moment before I understood what he'd said. Wait a second, Lukuko. What do you mean?
She's got amnesia, she says.
Amnesia? Well, that's quite different.
Seems like it. Something happened.
Yeah, in the other timeline, she absolutely did not have amnesia.
That's right.
She also wasn't acting like this at all either.
Yeah,
And she doesn't even remember her name.
that's right.
Or who she is.
That's right.
Why?
I don't know.
Of course not. She knew she wouldn't have amnesia. Okay, but why come to me?
I thought you might know of a good way to bring back someone's memories.
I do, but only painful ones and only ones you don't want to remember. And also only for me, and also it only happens when I stare at someone who looks remarkably like this woman next to you, so.
Well, that's the start. You talk about memories in the brain and all that complicated stuff all the time. Anything you can do to help me bring back my memories would be wonderful.
Wait, sure, I talk about that stuff a lot, but I'm just an interested amateur. I don't know anything special. I knew how the brain worked and how it was laid out, and I knew what amnesia was, but bringing back someone's memories was a different matter. Even the latest medical technology would be useless, unless of course you had your memories stored on a system like Amadeus.
I see.
The
The girl was visibly disappointed.
Then, is there some way you can find out who she is? Kana seems to be suffering so much.
Kana?
Luca's father gave me that name. He said I needed a name. He says it means temporary.
Oh, it doesn't sound like a lot of thought went into that. Was that alright?
He said since I wasn't going to be using it forever, it would be better this way.
Couldn't tell if that was deep or not.
Okabe, is there anything you can do? If we could at least find out her name.
I'd love to help, but wouldn't it be faster to go to a private investigator?
A private investigator, like a detective agency.
Well, yeah, but even that's going to be rough with nothing to go on at all. You didn't have a wallet or bag or anything?
No, nothing.
Nothing? Not even necessarily something big. I imagine there has to be at least one thing, right?
There is one thing, but I don't know if it'll help.
She slowly took out her handkerchief, as if it was something that was very important to her. Whatever was inside must have been the one thing she was carrying. May I see it?
No.
Oh, we're doing steamed hams now.
Yes. Do we have visitors?
Almost at the exact same time that Kana opened the handkerchief, I heard Mayuri's soft voice from the front hall. Evidently, she was back from shopping. Suzuha was behind her as well. That was a rare combination. Had they run into each other on the way?
Oh, Mayuri. It's Luca.
Hey, Luca, who's this?
She's a guest who's staying with my family.
Kana bowed her head a little.
Wow.
For some reason, Mayuri gave a happy little sigh as she looked at the handkerchief in Kana's hands.
That's an upa, right? Ah.
Inside of the white handkerchief was a faded Upa keychain.
Do you like upa? Mayushi loves him too.
Is this your clue? Come on, Okabe. Come on, man. You come on, dude. This is another one where it's like, come on, man. You are literally looking for someone matching her description. It was an old Upa keychain. Was that really a clue?
But how old is this? It looks pretty old.
It really did, come to think of it. Upa was a character from the Rainet Kakeru anime. Upa products had only been around for a few years now, but the one I was looking at was very, very old.
This was probably green to start with. It's the Forest Fairy version.
Forest Fairy?
Yep, it was in that movie that just came out. Mayushi's got one too, see? But the design's a little different.
Don't let them touch! Don't let them touch! Couldn't see any difference at all.
This keychain's really hard to find, so I was looking everywhere for it. And then Luca found it and bought it for me a while ago, remember? So this is different too.
Is it?
Because didn't she acquire it on the other route while going shopping with Okabe? And she was going to make a sign for the Okabe
Was that
grocery?
when she acquired it during that point?
I thought so. Then she was surprised that they had it there because she'd
was
been looking
surprised
all
that they
over.
still, but yeah, but either way, she still wound up with one.
Yeah, but in a different way.
In a different way, yeah.
Yeah, I just happened to see it on sale.
That's strange, though. If it's from a new movie, it can't have been on sale for that long, and yet it's so old. Huh?
CG?
Only then did I realize how pale Kana's face was.
Are you okay, Kana?
Are you not feeling well?
I'm fine.
Kana tried to stand up and almost fell forward. Lukaku quickly grabbed her. I know, I'll get you something cold. I went to go get a bottle of water out of the fridge when I noticed Suzuha was staring at Kana in shock. Suzuha?
That's impossible.
Huh? Strangely, Kana wasn't the only one who was shaking a little. Suzuha was as well.
No, that Upa, it's...
What's wrong, Suzuha?
I know that Upa, it's...
Huh?
Hey, Suzuha! Kana staggered a few steps towards Suzuha and then a few steps more. It couldn't be. No, there was just no way, but...
Are you? Kaguri?
What?
Are you Kaguri? Kaguri Shina?
Kana's eyes went wide.
Mm.
And she slowly collapsed to the floor. Why is Moeka's face for the icon for the achievement for clearing that chapter?
They had to find one to put her on, and she's probably not important in any route.
Yeah.
And this is the one where she kind of plays a role.
Man,
Like, her role in the first story is so good, but also it means that by necessity, she, like, is only, like, any of these other spin-offs, she's, like, barely there.
Justice for the anxiety creature murder girl.
Yeah. I don't even think she shows up, like, a lot of the future Gadget Lab members, say Suzuha, make, cameos in Robotics Notes Dash.
Mm.
Right? Because that's the one where Daru shows up, and you can get, like, a chat room with all these lab mems in it. But to my knowledge, not Moeka, because at the Steins Gate Worldline, she'd have no reason to join the lab or have any contact with them whatsoever. It's kind of sad.
What did she end up doing on that world line?
Probably just more tech journalism.
Okay. What was the world line where she ended up working for Mr. Brown? Was that one of the spin-off game world lines?
I think that one was on one of the spin-offs.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can never remember what the actual Steins Gate world line looks like because
I
it's
think
been
on
so long and
actual
we've played so many spin-offs.
Yeah, I think on actual Steins Gate we don't know. Maybe I feel like it came up at the end of Steins Gate original and I don't remember what. I feel like we probably saw her briefly. Kind of in like
Fair enough.
Yeah. Well, have you calmed down a bit?
Yes, thank you.
Kana had passed out after hearing the name Kaguri Shina from Suzuha, but with help from Lukako and the girls, she woke up 10 minutes later. She still didn't look very good. Lukako and Mairi, I'm sorry, can you go buy something cold to drink, please?
Huh?
And some of those cooling sheets that you put on your forehead would be nice as well. Felt bad for Lukako, but I probably didn't want either of them hearing what we were about to discuss.
Yep. Okay. Let's go,
And Mayuri,
Luca.
again, completely understands, like, okay, this is probably about to be something that is currently above my pay grade if they need to be just the time travel squad. Got it.
I have this weird sense that suddenly I'm a mom and I'm not ready to deal with that yet. So we're
A lot
going to
of
go to
that
the
going
store.
around the lab these days.
Oh, yeah.
Lukako seemed interested in hearing about what was going on, but still, he went along with Mayuri. What sucks is that in Steins Gate, Kaguri probably has absolutely no contact with the future Gadget Lab members and not Mayuri at all. Because she's a war orphan. That means her parents died.
Yeah, but she's probably not a war orphan in the Steins Gate world line, so
exactly.
it's fine.
So it's fine, but also that means she never gets to meet Mayuri, so... Yeah. What happened next was the problem. Kana...
Kaguri, where have you been? And what have you been doing?
What?
Suzuha opened her mouth the second Mayuri and Lukako left. Her words were as sharp as a knife blade and Kana looked terrified.
What the hell were you thinking when you...
Wait, Suzuha, she's lost her memories.
What did you say?
I explained what it brought Kana here. And then I answered a text on my phone.
I'm about to reveal an important secret to you, nya.
See, why would Daru make a Rhine sticker of...
The only reason you would do that would be to torture Okabe. Why would you make one of her? But I refuse.
Come on, just let me see it, nya.
It's probably just some more made-up nonsense, right? Really hard keeping up with all the stuff you say.
You've changed, Ocarine. Will you never go back to the old you? Will you never go back to being Kyoma, nya?
Sorry.
Why would you make one of Moeka?
To be fair, I would absolutely believe that he saw Moeka the one time and was like, holy shit, she's hot. and was like, I'm going to commission someone to make a sticker out of this random person I've just met because that's not creepy at all.
Okay, yeah, but like it's been in there before. It's not like it's a new addition to the sticker set. And the Kurisu one is inexcusable.
Then again, so is Daru.
Daru one's fine.
No. Daru is inexcusable,
Okay,
not the
yes.
sticker.
I explained what it brought Kana here.
Amnesia, huh? Then she doesn't even know where she's been?
Yes, but there's something we need to find out first. Whether or not she was really Kagari Shina. Kana,
Oh, yes?
do you remember what we were just talking about?
Yes.
What do you want to do? Should we wait for you to recover a little more before we continue?
No, I'm fine.
She was clutching her upa so hard that her fingertips had gone white. There was a light in her eyes as she looked up at Suzuha. Okay, let's get back to it. Suzuha, what makes you say that this is Kagari?
It's that Upa. Kagari never let go of it. She said it was a present from her mom that would keep her safe.
Kana slowly opened her hand. The tiny old upa was staring up at us with a silly look on its face. A present from her mom. A present from Mayuri. Kana said that upa was the one thing she had with her, right?
That's right. I woke up without my memories, and the only thing I had was this keychain.
Woke up.
Yes.
Woke up where?
A mountain path in Chiba, near the prefecture's border.
Well, that's a bad spot to wake up in.
The priest of a nearby temple happened to be passing by, and he found me lying on the ground.
That's like in Chiba. That's a long ass way away. Well, not a long ass way, but like still, that's not in Tokyo.
I stayed there for a while. But they said the temple was a place of spiritual training, and they couldn't let a girl stay there for very long.
Oh, so they sent you to Lukaku's place.
Yes, the priest thought that Luca was a girl. So they thought it would be good to send me to a home with a girl my age.
I never thought of that. If I'd only known you were so close.
The guest that Lukaku had mentioned a few days ago was probably that priest. Means that Kana, no Kagari Shina, had been there the whole time. We'd been searching blindly for her without any idea, and she'd been there the whole time. If only I'd taken Lukaku's call, we wouldn't have had to go through all this.
Well, not necessarily, because you still didn't recognize Kagari, like make that connection. Which, come on, Okabe, come on, buddy.
So, Kana, do you remember anything when you heard the name Kagari?
To be honest, I don't know, but it feels like I've heard it before. And
Kana's words cut off as she looked at Suzuha.
that girl from before.
You mean Big Sis Mayu?
Big Sis Mayu.
That's Mayuri Shina.
Mayuri. Somehow when I saw her, I felt very warm.
Even if she was Kagari Shina, she would only have known Mayuri after she'd grown up. But her parents can't have changed that much. We saw the CG after all. She was wearing basically the same thing. Which meant that it would make sense seeing her would stir some feelings within Kagari.
Hey, can I see that again?
Oh, sure.
Kagari handed the old upa over to Kana.
She's also asking.
Wait, what? She handed the old upa over to herself?
Apparently, I just read it. She's also acting very differently than she was in the other world line, where she seemed to know exactly who her mother was, and what her relationship with Suzuha was. So
Something was different.
what's
and
different?
it all tracks because someone started looking for her a couple months ago. So that's like within the point where this diverged from that other route.
So maybe maybe in that route they found her,
Or maybe in that route she didn't go missing.
or maybe in that route she never went missing in the first place. Got it.
Yeah, this is definitely Kagari's.
Then does this mean I'm this Kagari Shina girl?
I think so. We can't be sure yet, but that would make sense.
No, I'm sure of it. This is Kagari. The keychain is proof of it. Big Sis Mayu gave this to Kagari. But how could you have amnesia of all things?
The keychain probably did belong to Kagari, but she also could have been gifted it by Kagari Shina, or she could have picked it up off the ground. Of course, Suzuha said the keychain was very important to Kagari. It was unlikely she'd drop it or give it to someone. Which meant And then the door opened and Mayuri poked her head through to see what was going on.
Tuturu. Is everything okay?
We're almost done with Time Squad. Oh, sorry. Thank you for getting that.
Not at all.
The drinks and cooling sheets were taken out of their plastic bags and put on the desk. Again, as I take a text message.
You really don't want to know, Nya?
Again? But I refuse.
You really, really don't want to know, Nya?
Nope.
You may not get another chance, Nya. For real.
But I refuse. Again, Ferris? Is Ferris going to keep texting
I
us?
hope so.
I hope so. Is it still texting if it's over line? Is
I
that
don't
the
know.
correct verb for that?
I don't know. It's a
Messaging?
mystery.
Okay. The drinks and cooling sheets were taken out of their plastic bags and put on the desk.
So,
Lukako waited a moment for her to take a sip of the drinks she'd brought and then spoke with a quavery voice.
So is Kana this Kagari girl that Amani was looking for?
Yes, that is most likely the case.
I'm so glad. Now you at least know your name.
Or at least the name you'll get when your parents die. Weird that they're... I guess she was young enough she didn't have much of a connection with her real parents. Or her original... I shouldn't say real. Original parents.
Mm-hmm. Come to think of it, this makes perfect sense. She doesn't know that her name is Kagari Shina yet because she hasn't received that name yet. It's going to happen in the future, many years from now.
Okay.
It just works.
Okay. All right, moving on.
Luca.
Kana, that is Kagari, smiled gently when she saw how relieved Lukako was.
Oh, but then do you know where her real family is?
Well, no, I mean, that's,
Suzuha was Kagari's neighbor when they were kids, but she moved 12 years ago and hasn't been able to find her since. Isn't that right?
yeah, that's right. And all of a sudden, I really started missing her, so I came to Uncle Ocarine for help.
So that's the situation, which means Suzuha doesn't know anything about Kagari's family or where she lived, and you should stop asking this question right now, Luca.
I see.
Go practice the sword. That was the only answer I could come up with. If we told Kagari she was a time traveler from the year 2036 who'd come here 12 years ago, that would only confuse her. Now, if we could get her memories back, we should know exactly what happened. She'd learned her name and met both Suzuha and Mayuri. Mayuri's presence alone had to be a big deal.
Kagari? Yes? What's your last name? I didn't hear it before, so I'd like to learn it. Well, they say that it's Shina. Wow, then you've got the same last name as Mayushi. Mayushi's last name is Shina. Mayuri Shina. Mayuri Shina. Yeah, that makes me happy. I've never met anybody with the same name as me. I see.
Wait, what about your parents? Mayuri? Mayuri? Who was I talking to that made you a cake? Mayuri?
Yup, so I'm really glad to meet you. Yes, nice to meet you too.
Mayuri was using her natural cheerfulness to try and open up to Kagari. If it worked, maybe she could bring back her memories.
Luca told me you've got amnesia. Is that true? Yes. That means you don't know who you are, doesn't it? Yes. I see. That has to be really tough, huh? Because that means you forgot about the people you love, right? Mayushi thinks that's really, really sad. So, I don't really know how to say this, but Mayushi will help too. So let's do our best, okay?
Mayuri smiled. I could see Kaguri's eyes well up with tears.
What's wrong? Did Mayushi say something weird?
Really? No. You'd actually just explained one of the reasons why you'd make a great parent someday, Mayuri.
No, that's not it. Just hearing you say that made me so happy for some reason. And it's not just Mayushi. Okarin, Suzu, and Luca all feel the same way. Yes, of course, I'll do anything I can. Thank you, Luca, Mayuri.
I could leave Kaguri to Mayuri and Lukako and she'd be just fine. Question was what to do now. Lukako, can you do me a favor?
What is it?
Can Kaguri stay at your place for a while longer?
Huh?
In the meantime, we'll try to figure out what she's been doing until now.
Of course, I don't mind.
Is that okay with you as well, Suzuha?
I mean, yeah, sure, that's fine. And she hasn't explained what happened with Kaguri last time she left, so right? Suzuha hasn't explained the whole thing where Kaguri started hearing the voice of God and then grabbed the gun and stopped her from doing the Y2K, stopping Y2K? Stopped her from stopping Y2K.
Suzuha probably wasn't completely happy with that, but she nodded anyway. Our first priority was getting back Kaguri's memories.
Then I can see you if I go to Luca's place, right? Can Mayushi come over to play? Of course, right, Kaguri? Right.
Suzuha, you should try to drop by as often as possible, too. That's probably the best way to get her memories back.
Okie dokie.
Mayushi will visit once and immediately have Kaguri in cosplay.
Yeah.
30 seconds after she's in the door. Oh, right. If we're not having a Christmas party, I'd like to have a New Year's party. Can you help too, Kaguri? It would make me really happy. Huh? Can I? Of course. Right, Luca? Yeah, let's all have a party together.
Anytime you get 3 girls together, they'd start chattering like birds. And all of them did begin to chatter away. I had my own work to do, after all. First, I had to let Moeka know that we'd found her. I guess we gotta tell Moeka. Give her like a message? We found Kaguri Shina. Knowing Moeka, she'd respond almost immediately.
No way. Where?
A friend who works at a shrine was taking care of her. She was found on a mountain path near the Chiba border, but she's lost her memories from before then.
She was that close? Wow. We've been looking for whoever is after her, but can't find any info. It may be a pretty big group.
It would be a big help if you could keep that up for us.
Okay.
How did you get the sticker? Oh, never mind. I guess she's working. Daru hired her. So Daru's like, here, use this app to keep in touch with us since it's what we use for this group.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. That was all I needed to do for Moeka.
Plus, isn't it just like the popular app in this setting?
Remember, because this is, Daru invented Rhine.
Yeah, but isn't it also the popular app in this setting
I
that
guess,
people use?
yeah, it might be.
It's just Daru is the inventor of Line in this setting.
I suppose so. But I was still interested in the group who'd been looking for Kaguri. When did Line become a thing?
I don't know. I don't know anything about Line, other than it has stickers.
Yeah, hold on. When was Line... Not Lone. Line... invented?
By Euclid, right?
Line began in
Who
spring
invented
2011.
geometry.
Stop that. Spring 2011.
Okay.
So... Daru has preempted it by a few months, it looks like.
Nice.
Because this
Got the
is
scoop.
December... Because this is late 2010 here. Anyway. But I was still interested in the group who'd been looking for Kaguri, and I also wanted to know what she was doing lying on a mountain path. What was she doing out there? And with only an Upa? Could she have been running from someone? Lukako, can I have a second?
Yes, what is it?
Yes, it's finally happening.
What? I'd like you to try to keep Kaguri from leaving the shrine as much as possible.
Huh? Why?
Don't ask the reason, please.
Yes, all right, if you say so, Okabe.
Mayuri will do anything Okabe asks because she understands intrinsically that there are some things he can't tell her and that it's still very important. Lukako does anything Okabe asks of him just because it's Okabe.
Has no understanding of why, but does
Just
it
like,
anyway.
I couldn't hurt to be careful, right? If it was nothing, then that was fine. Once Kaguri got her memories back, I'd know it for sure. Nobody knew when that would be, though.
I mean, TBH, try not to leave the shrine isn't as helpful as we think some people might be looking for her,
Yeah.
right? I think you'd want to share that. Yeah, whatever.
The day after Lukako took Kaguri to the lab, I took Mayuri to Yanabayashi Shrine, though, through an Akihabara that was filled with Christmas spirit.
Oh, Mayuri and Okabe too.
Lukako was smiling. He'd seen us before we could say anything. Smile was far too cute to belong.
Come on.
His smile was far too cute to belong to a man. Once again, I was forced to doubt his real gender.
Okabe.
Luca.
Science Gate
Kagari.
Worldline is just where Luca discovers what estrogen is.
Tuturu. Tuturu. Wow, Kagari, you're amazing.
She's a quick study.
I've been doing this for years and nobody else has picked it up yet.
Is it like an infection? Maybe we've developed like an immunity to it. Luca, tuturu.
What?
Okay.
Because even when Mayushi says tuturu, no one ever says tuturu back at first.
It's hard for someone who's only just met you to understand that it's a greeting.
Yup, so everyone says, what's that? But you just said tuturu right back, so I'm impressed. I just kind of thought I should, maybe?
It's spreading. Maybe Mayuri's strange greeting had embedded itself in some part of Kaguri's mind. Which meant that even 25 years from now, Mayuri was still saying tuturu?
That tracks.
Well, knowing Mayuri, that actually tracks. Ferris, I'm not interested.
About Kaguri.
Something bothering you? Find a way to get her memories back? You worried about her? Is there something bothering you?
I'm honestly a little relieved that Kaguri lost her memories. I'm scared they might come back, and I'm sure she would hate me.
But you still want them to come back anyway, right?
Well, yeah, I guess, but
Dwelling on the past won't help.
it just kind of bothers me. Sorry, don't tell anyone about this, okay?
Got it.
Okabe Rintaro telling somebody dwelling on the past won't help. Of all people.
Well, to be fair, I mean, that is what he's trying to do, right?
Yep.
He's trying not to dwell on the past.
That wouldn't surprise me at all.
The guy who spent fucking practically years dwelling in the past, not
Did
just on it.
Has anyone done the math on how long exactly he was looping for?
I
Like
don't think-
subjectively?
I don't think we have enough info to know. Because I think it's established that there are additional loops that aren't
Yeah.
shown.
There are loops that aren't shown. And some of the endings make it seem like he has the wherewithal to go for like something on the span of like centuries almost. So I don't know quite if we know how much subjective time he's been through.
We should see if anyone's made guesses, though. I bet people have debated this online before.
Oh, absolutely. I'm sure he's spent at least I'm sure we're working with years at least.
Mm-hmm.
Right. He gives up after like 2 tries. Oh, I can't keep doing this over and over.
Uncle, you did it twice.
To be fair,
That is 2 times more than most people.
yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Oh, Okabe, tuturu to you too.
Oh, thank you. I still didn't know how to deal with her. She'd been 10 years old when she was separated from Suzuha. If that was 12 years ago, she should be 22 by now. That meant she was older than me, but she was also Mayuri's adopted daughter.
Title drop.
22?
I don't know about you.
But I am feeling 22. I'm gonna make her like Suzuha, who was Daru's daughter. Suzuha was at least the same age as me and Daru, so I didn't need to worry about being polite to my elders, but...
Oh, right. It's Christmas Eve today. Merry Christmas.
Hey. Christmas Eve means it's not Christmas.
You're right. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Merry Chrysler. Is it okay to celebrate Christmas at a shrine? By the way, Kagari, how are you doing?
Not bad, but I still don't remember anything.
Oh, there's no need to force yourself to remember things. When the time comes, the memories will come back on their own. It's better to think of things that way.
I understand.
Of course, you probably wanted to remember them faster than that. Is something wrong?
No, I was just thinking that Luca, Mayuri, and you, of course, are all really nice.
No, I'm not really that nice.
You don't need to blush.
She'd been so depressed when we first met that this was probably the first time I'd seen her smile. Her smile was somehow childish, and she seemed a lot younger than I was told she was.
Oh, sorry. I shouldn't be so informal with someone I've just met.
No, it's fine. I'm not very good at being polite either.
Hey, at least he's self-aware.
That's right. Mayushi would be happier if you just talked normally. That makes it
Sorry.
feel more like we're friends, right? Friends. Yeah, friends. Thanks, Mayuri. Friends, huh?
Maybe this was how future Mayuri became close to her as well. A war orphan. That's what Suzuha had said about Kagari, and all of that was all my fault, wasn't it? If I did what Suzuha wanted, would her life change? But for that to happen, I would have to once again...
Okabe, are you okay? You don't look so good.
Sorry, PTSD, post-temporal stress disorder. It's nothing, I'm just not getting enough sleep is all.
I see. I hope so.
Anyway, what were you doing just now, Lukuko? You looked busy.
Cleaning the shrine.
I see. Don't you clean it all the time? I felt like every time I came here, Lukuko had a broom in his hands.
Today's the big cleaning day when we clean the parts we don't normally get to.
Oh, I see. It is almost New Year's. New Year's was a big deal for Shrine.
I did the dusting a few days ago, but there's still stuff to do, so I'm having Kagari help. It doesn't feel right to just stay here and do nothing. I have to help a little at least.
Lukuko and Kagari seem to be getting along just fine.
Oh, Luca, guests.
Hello, Father.
Lukuko's father was poking his head out from behind the shrine. He had the look of a saint, but I knew he had some bad habits. Mostly of the same type as Daru. Dressing up Lukuko as a shrine priestess clothes and having him help around the shrine was all his idea.
Not my fault. I'm helping my daughter out with her gender.
What?
Oh, don't you worry. Luca's father has Sprite since the first game showed up, and we never agreed on a voice for him.
Yeah.
Okabe Mayuri, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Wait, aren't you not allowed to say that?
What's wrong, Okabe?
No, nothing. If it didn't bother them, I guess it was fine. More importantly, I needed to thank them for what they were doing for Kagari. Actually, about Kana.
Oh, her name's Kagari, I heard. Luca told me. I had no idea you guys knew her. Small world, huh?
That's right, so it'd help a lot if she could stay here for a while.
So you have your reasons, I hear. Of course, she's welcome to stay as long as she likes.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
That's fine. It's like having a new daughter.
A new daughter? Father, you already have my sister.
Oh, give it a few years, Luca. She never comes home, though. She knows I miss her, and she's just being mean. Oh, I had an idea. So all these girls, why don't you all help at the shrine on New Year's?
Help as shrine priestesses?
Of course, Kagari and Mayuri too. We'll have you wear the outfits. How about it? I'll pay.
But that's not fair to them. Oh, I don't mind. You guys are really helping me, so it's the least I can do. Plus, we need a big CG for this route.
We do need a big CG for this route, actually.
Oh, really?
Mayushi has to get ready for the party on New Year's. And I like making cosplay outfits, but I don't know about wearing them.
Mayuri's shrine priestess outfit actually isn't cosplay, you know.
I see. Don't you want to see Mayuri dressed up as a shrine priestess, Okabe?
Oh, I mean, why is he asking me?
Is that true, Okarin?
No, I mean, I guess I...
You can't fool me. It's written all over your face.
No way. Hard to look in a mirror right now. I most definitely would not see it written on my face.
I see. Well, if Okarin says so.
People love today telling me things that I have said.
Great, glad to hear it. Means I'll have to get the outfits ready. Hey, honey.
Must have been afraid that Mayuri and Kaguri were going to change their minds because he quickly ran behind the shrine. Seriously couldn't let your guard down around that man.
Sorry. No, there's no reason for you to apologize. But I know you were looking forward to that New Year's party. I can still do it after I'm done helping here, so don't worry. Yeah, that's right. I'll help too. Ask for anything you need. Thanks, Luca. Luca.
Luca. You've done better. Thuka? Maybe?
But I don't know if I'll look good in a shrine priestess outfit. Don't worry, I'm sure you will. Really? Yeah, Mayushi makes all kinds of cosplay outfits for her friends, so I can tell. If you say so, I guess I'll try it. Yeah.
Since I'd asked them to keep Kaguri from leaving the shrine, she probably needed something like this to relax. Maybe that was why Lukago's father had asked her? No way. Either way, it was going to be a busy New Year's. Alright, I'll be going.
Huh? You're leaving already? I haven't even brought you tea.
I just came to see Kaguri is all.
Oh, Okarin, Mayushi is...
I know, you'll want to talk about New Year's a little more, right? I'll be back at the lab.
Thanks, Okabe.
Okabe. She bowed her head a little and smiled innocently. She still had her memories as a war orphan. Would she be able to smile like that?
What is it? Okabe just keep every time someone has something to tell him, he's just like, nope, don't want to hear it.
To be fair, that is consistent with how he's been acting. Susan has got something she's been trying to tell him for a while.
Yeah.
And maybe it's just like his reaction to that now was like, he's just so used to being like, oh, someone needs me. This is important. The only way I can handle things that I know people want me for is by ignoring them.
Yep.
I would actually absolutely believe that that's just a habit he's fallen into. Anyway, we'll see you all next time for, I think, probably New Year's?
Probably.
It looks like we're about to invite Hiyajo to it, so, you know, awesome. Can't wait to see Hiyajo. She probably won't get a Shrine Priestess outfit. Other people will, though. Bye.
Peace.
Smash that like, comment and subscribe.